And one of the balls he hit went all the way down one street, then went into oncoming traffic and another street. Definitely a great show. And when you get more aggressive, you know what happens. If you're successful, bigger, bigger, bigger fish. Coached by Jen Rosati, the former UConn star, Coach Hillsman said he's just glad she's not suiting up and playing against them. Jabba Chamberlain's first start in pinstripes was more Jabba the Hutt than anything. Dull, stagnant, and at times just plain ugly. We all know Lynch can run with the ball and receive. What J.P. Lossman, the Bills quarterback, told us was that he hopes his rookie back can also be a good pass blocker. Williams was suspended from the team for cheating and was basically shown the door out of school. But in a story you'll see first on 5, Williams thinks he's about to make a comeback. Several players making runs today, so no one's really been able to jump out ahead of the rest of the field. Smith wants nothing more than to have a strong finish at the track he grew up 75 miles away from. And who better to ask for advice than the guy that he shares the Army One car with, Mark Martin.
Rishi, what was the mood of the guys afterwards?
It was not good, Kevin. You would expect it to be that way, and certainly the players all had their heads down. And this was a game that turned in a hurry. A lot of that had to do with 65% shooting from Villanova in the second half. But that 8-0 run that you mentioned earlier was the key that gave the Wildcats new life. So it does look like it's almost certain that the NIT is what's next for the Orange. They'll start worrying about that once Selection Sunday is done. Right now, though, just a lot of heartbreak for a young team and countless SU fans. Reporting from the Garden, Rishi Barran, CBS 5. Back to you, Kev. Well, it doesn't change in a phone booth or run faster than a speeding bullet, but the Auburn Babe Ruth League has its own resident legendary character. His existence is certain, and his nickname is one you'll never forget. It's time for me to introduce him to you. Above the field where the Auburn Babe Ruth League teams play, a superhero keeps watch.
Now batting the pitcher, number 4, Andrew Sanders.
His bat cave is known as Dan's Den.
Never met anybody like him.
His Batmobile runs on manpower. It's also the source of his nickname.
I see him riding around on the streets while I'm going by in the car on his bike. I wave to him.
Meet Biker Dan.
That's just the name the kids gave him, and it kind of stuck right with him. He rides his bike everywhere.
I'm no superhero, but I'm just doing what I can.
Alter ego Dan Edkin has announced the games and kept score here for the last 21 years.
Sitting off with Giuseppe's Pizzeria.
He's known for his voice, impeccable handwriting, and most of all, his dedication.
It doesn't matter if it's raining. You know, if we cancel games when he's already here. The field wasn't ready, but Dan was. Dan was ready. They don't call Dan the Cal Ripken of announcers for nothing. In 2002, while riding his bike, he got into an unfortunate accident. So what'd he do? Well, he got there in the booth and announced that same day.
I kept riding. I didn't think I was hurt that bad until I discovered I felt a sharp pain.
Dan fractured his elbow, but working through it was just one of his heroic deeds. Edkin once rode his bike 30-plus miles from Auburn to Syracuse just to watch some All-Stars play. How tired were you when you waited there?
I was a little tired, but I got there eventually.
The press box is now named in Edkin's honor, but you have to look elsewhere to truly recognize his contribution.
The bike symbolizes his commitment. You know, I don't know many people that would, you know, work at their regular job all day and then ride their bike and, you know, be here and do the job that they do for 2-3 games in the evening.
After all, there's only one Biker Dan. Rishi Barran, CBS 5. Early in his coaching career, Steve Evans wanted to prove himself as Steve Evans, not as the son of RFA legend Buddy Evans.
Under control!
Now that he's out of his father's shadow, when a job opened up on Steve's Lemoyne coaching staff, his choice for an assistant was obvious.
When I started my life, I grew up in a gym with my father, and getting towards the end of his life now, to be able to spend time with his son is something that's really touching.
Shot! Stop the ball, Phil! Where's the head rise? Head rise! Head rise!
He has a very unorthodox style of coaching.
One step into him and kick him.
He's, you know, a little louder than the other coaches.
Stop! Back door, hurry up! You can't let him do that.
You can hear the elder Evans from a mile away at practice.
Get a shot every time down the floor.
Not that the younger Evans didn't hear his father during games prior to Buddy's addition to the staff.
I've always coached from the stands when he's been coaching, and now it gives me a chance to sit next to him and express my opinion.
As much as Steve Evans loves having his father around, there's no doubt that this reversal of roles comes with a challenge. The challenge of the son being in charge of the father on the bench.
The hard part is when your son's telling you we're not going to do it. He's got to realize it's not his son saying we're not doing it. It's his boss saying we're not doing it that way.
I probably go home mad, he wins out. and the one that gets the blunt of it is my wife.
But even when they disagree, Coach Senior wouldn't have it any other way. He says the 55 miles he treks to practice every day are a minor sacrifice.
My life has been the game of basketball, so if I can help my son or help Gallagher with a couple of things throughout the year, it's well worth my time.
To be able to spend every day with your dad doing something that you both love is something that I know he'll remember, and I'll always remember this, regardless of winning or losing.
Direct spin dribble!
And the way Buddy Evans yells, you probably wouldn't know if they're winning or losing anyway. Rishi Barran, CBS 5.
It's funny because the announcer said, everybody back up off the court. And, I'm laughing like, man, they not about to back up off this court. They coming out here, man.
And they didn't back up, and what a rush it was. Good evening. After an ugly loss at South Florida, the SU Hoops team needed a lift, and the Dome crowd sure provided one. And in return, the Orange put on a show for their fans. 31,000 strong were there, and boy, were they loud. Orange got down a few early, but no worries. Paul Harris takes it off the Johnny Flynn feed, gets the hoop and the foul. 3-point play, 9-8 SU, its first lead of the game, and Paul just getting going. He went on an 8-0 run all by himself. This three gives the Orange a 12-8 lead, and then it was time for the freshman to step up, Dante Green. He's a better three-point shooter than Paul, and he shows it right here. 17-10 Orange on top, and that was just the beginning. Johnny Flynn, well, you sense a theme here. Another three ball, 28-12 SU, part of a 28-4 run. He had 17 points, 9 assists. Later in the first, Harris inside the arc, 2 more, gets SU a 21-point lead, its biggest of the game. Orange were up 16 at the half. The Hoyas cut it to 7, but then Green quickly making it 10 with that three, 49-36 Cuse. And then Green does it on the other side, big block. That leads to this. Uh-oh, Paul Harris, open court. Don't miss it, Paul, not this time. No, he won't. SU by 15. Moments later, Green to Arinze Onuaku, the on-center, capping a 10-0 run, 53-36 SU, but the Hoyas not going away. Patrick Ewing Jr., the tip-in. Hoyas cut it to 55-50. Green, though, wastes little time getting it back. He'll get the three ball to give the Orange an 8-point lead. He had 18 on the day. Paul Harris, the closing act here. Tough 2 in the foul. 22 for Paul. Pile on that floor, fans. It's warranted. SU wins 77-70. A huge victory at the right time here.
Man, because we looked at it like, man, if we lose, we just done. We're not gonna make the tournament. So that was just, so that was a lot of motivation for us. I mean, to go out there and play hard and do all the little things to get a W.
It was a tremendous effort. Georgetown's a real good basketball team, and it was a good, solid win for us.
We just realized that we had to do it for 40 minutes, and we couldn't give him any room, and I think we did a great job at the end.
And Dante Green's new shirt may have been the good luck charm the Orange needed. Green was seen in warm-ups wearing this "Don't Leave." See the Dante, get it? 2 SU students made the shirt, a plea to the freshman forward to stick around for at least another year. They gave it to him yesterday at practice and were a bit surprised when he actually wore it today.
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe it, to be honest. I thought he was a real stand-up guy.
I said, you know what, we're really taking this guy for his word, but then he said he promised and he really did it, and he's a good guy. We appreciate it.
It's been a thing going around school, you know, that I'm leaving next year. You know, right now, I'm really not focused on the NBA. I'm trying to focus on getting this team back to the NCAA tournament. Student body's worried about it, but, you know, I'm really not worried about it right now.
And if you want one of those shirts, you can get them by emailing Chris and his buddy Ian at don'tleavesu@gmail.com. SU's next opponent is Louisville, fighting off an upset bid in Providence. Cardinals down 3 in the second. David Padgett muscles up to pull them within 1, and then it's Jerry Smith. Give him 3. Louisville escapes 80-72. It's truly amazing to think how far the SU women's hoops program has come, but the Lady Orange haven't reached their pot of gold quite yet. To become an elite program, the Orange will have to beat elite programs, and knocking off 16th-ranked Notre Dame would be a great start. And former CBS 5er Mike Tirico in the house, catching it with his family. Cuse battled back against a good Irish team. Trying to take the lead here, and Erica Morrow shows that she can hit that tough shot. 61-60 on the nice roll. She had 19 points, but Notre Dame would get back on top. Lindsay Schrader takes it in the post and hits the borderline jump shot. Irish by 1. And then it's Melissa Lecklittner finishing the job. Irish top the Orange 79-67 on a night when Chandrea Jones shot 1 for 12.
She got shots. She took them, and and she didn't make them. I don't think it was because she didn't try to shoot. She got the shots, but she's been getting all season long. She just didn't make them.
And more women's ball for you. Think pink at Lemoyne. The Lemoyne women in this St. Anselm. Courtney Courier puts in 2 of her 19 points there. Lemoyne on top, and then it's Brandy Wangelin working the baseline for 2. Lemoyne wins 58-46. And the guys in action too, and no shirts for them, no pink ones at least. Lemoyne and St. Anselm. In the men's action, Lawrence Ekparagan with 2 there. He had 25. And then Jason Holmes, a career day with 33 points, 3 right there. Lemoyne wins 86-84 in overtime. And the Crunch going for their 4th win in 5 games. They were in overtime too, and Mark Mehta takes it inside for the game winner. The Crunch over 500 for the first time all season with a 3-2 win. And finally, Superman was in the house in New Orleans. Check this dunk out. Chuck, can you hang like that? I don't think so. Dwight Howard winning the Slam Dunk Championship with this beauty. Just call him Superman. And boy, look at the extension on that. He had several other amazing dunks, and Gerald Green actually blew out a birthday cupcake too. So creativity, I think the dunk contest is back.
All right, thanks, Rishi.